Hello again. I just got back from another day of rainy rounds. Just pulling back in home, and just felt the need to record this video this week. I'm going to try and do it in one take, just due to the spirit of what I'm about to talk about. I'm actually recording this before I record my mirror video about the golden rule, which I'm hoping to record and upload in either tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, it's been my process in making that video that's made me think about doing this one. I recorded it. I had already recorded the golden rule video last week, but then I had thought of something else I wanted to add, or a couple more points I wanted to make, or whatever. And I was like, well, I don't have access to the place where I took the video before, and it would look weird to your drawing if I just like did an addendum. So I'm gonna re-record it. Then on Monday, I tried to record outside. Well, first I tried to record like this weird, like, you know, those, if you have like two mirrors, one in front and back, it almost looks like this endless like reflection of front and back into infinity. I was gonna try and set that type of thing up just for a cool effect. Couldn't find an area or a place where I could record to make it look that way. And then I tried to record outside, where I put the mirror against a tree and it looked like I was like talking through the tree. It was a really cool setup and it looked cool, but it was so humid that the lens on my camera was fogging up. The mirror itself was getting a bunch of condensation on it. I was trying to swipe it all down. I was hot and I was dripping. And by the time I got it all cleared up and it had gotten used to the conditions outside and everything was staying clear, I was dripping wet, so I didn't look what I thought was presentable. So I was like, you know what, I'll do this inside some other time or whatever. And I just realized that I was falling into a trap that I often advise other people not to fall into, and that is trading in the good for the pursuit of perfect. I think so often in our lives we're so conditioned to seek efficiency and perfection and doing things as quick and as smooth as possible that a lot of times it can cause us to fall into inaction. Whether that's trying to find the perfect diet before we start changing what meals we eat and when we eat, when a lot of times they all work. It's just some might work better than another based on your body type, based on, you know, your activity levels. But it doesn't hurt anything to trade this one, you know, double-decker burger for a salad. There's no bad that comes from that, right? And it's still a better option, even if it's just a one-off, to make those small choices. And sometimes I think we need to just do that whole like one foot in front of the other type of mentality, rather than think we have the whole plan together before we start doing something. Same thing with like working out. If I can't, oh man, I want to go 3 times a week. I want to do a push day, a pull day, and a leg day, but I can't. I know I'm busy the second half of this week, so I don't want to just do push today and then not be able to do the rest of the programs this week. I'll start next week. Well, then that next week becomes months, years, whatever. And that's so common in so many different pursuits, whether it's health, like eating and exercise, or if it's just like hobbies. I've been doing so much research on mini, this is why it's one take this time, mini figurine painting. And so I've done so much research on like, should I use acrylics and do I need primers? And I've gotten different brushes and different paint sets and stuff. And I've been doing this for like a year and I still haven't painted my first mini, because I'm trying to like perfect my craft without just doing it, because I'm afraid of like ruining my first one. Like that $8 little mini that I bought isn't there's like a big deal if I ruin it. It's $8 out the door. Well, I've had entire paint sets go bad because I've had them sitting for so long, right? We can so often in our pursuit of wanting to do it right the first time, just never have a first time, right? And I think that can be the case with, you know, interpersonal things, right? Parenting. You need to have important conversations with your kids, and a lot of times we'll put those conversations off because we don't necessarily have the right words. But that's just having the conversation a lot of times when it comes to the hard truths of life is enough, right? Just being there, being present is sometimes the best quality you can have as a parent, right? And same thing with hard conversations with like a spouse or a sibling or your own parents. We're all imperfect people, and if we try and wait till we're perfect, we'll never do the things we need to do. Now, I will caveat this to say there are certainly areas in our life where we should like definitely measure twice and cut once, where we should do our due diligence before we just pull the trigger, right? You don't just marry the first person who gives you a little bit of a giddy feeling. That's a commitment, right? You want to make sure that it's a decision. You don't try out spouses until you find the right one. You don't get better at being married by just marrying a bunch of people and going through that trial. You don't quit a job because you have some impulsive, dream that pops up. You're like, oh man, I'm inspired to do X, Y, or Z, so I'm going to quit today. You want to actually think through some of these things. So I'm not saying it applies across the board, but I think it's important for us when the decisions we're making, if they don't have a real potential downside, right? Like skipping this unhealthy meal for a salad this one time, even if you can't make that regular, is there a drawback to that one decision? If there isn't, just make it. Because that's how we gain momentum, is by just taking that first step. And so, like I said earlier, I didn't plan on saying this, but I like the way I phrased it a couple minutes ago, is don't spend so much time trying to perfect your first time that you don't have a first time. And that can be, again, in hobbies, relationships, health, and lifestyle decisions. Just take that first step, and I need to eat of my own medicine in that, and so I'm going to go in and just record this video. It's not going to be what I had planned it to be regarding how I wanted to aesthetically make this video look, but you guys aren't going to think any less of me because, oh man, that camera wasn't positioned in the most optimal way or whatever. It's stupid thinking. We get in our own way, and it's just anxiety for the sake of anxiety. And I just would like to see all of us get past that a little bit and be our healthier selves who are just living life rather than planning life into infinity. So I'm gonna go inside now. I'm looking forward to the rest of this week and coming out and seeing you guys. If you need me, you always know you can reach out. Have a good one.